Hey YouTube, Common Collector here, and today I am doing the hand test and combo tutorial video with the updated Morphtronic deck. Whoa. Also today we are going to be adding extra prizes to the basically participation prizes to the giveaway that is going to be ending May 4th for the channel. So if you guys haven't heard of that, I do have two videos on the channel right now, one with the full details on how you can enter the giveaway and whatnot. So I'm not going to go too much into the details on that, but I will post the rest of the ways you guys can get into the giveaway there. Basically what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be changing up a little bit from what I said. Every time I roll either a 5 or a 6 in one of these combo videos, I will be adding another count onto participation prizes for this thing. So there was already 3 top prizes for the giveaway, so anybody else who enters into the giveaway has the chance to win one of these prizes. So anytime a 5 or a 6 is rolled, I will add another prize. So this is our first test hand. I think we're going to do 2 test hands and then 2 full-on other hands that sort of like pre-made hands. And so I will just start off right away with the Selfon's effect. And right away, there we go, we have our first 6. So I'm just going to have a little counter going there. So that's our first 6 that we got. So we'll reveal the top 6 cards of our deck. So we will go ahead and take that Selfon right there. Always want to take Selfon off of Selfon if we can. So we'll use his effect. And we got a 5. Okay, so that's already 2. So we are off to a great start. Wow, I must have mixed up some of the cards when I was shuffling. That's not good. So we will go ahead and take one of these. I always like to special summon one of the Earth guys, just so we can easily get into our Naturia Beast. So we will start off, and now what we can do from this moment is we can take the one Selfon and send him away for our Link Karibo. Then we can take Link Karibo, we'll keep Link Karibo on the field and use Junk Box in order to get our Selfon back. Use his effect one more time, and okay, there's a 6. So that's 3 extra prizes for the giveaway. And we will just take our third Selfon. This is already a really good looking combo, so this is nice. Maybe we'll, if I don't want the video to get too long, so maybe we'll actually only, okay, wow. This is this Selfon's effect. Maybe we'll actually only end up doing 3 combos, just because this could end up getting a little, not that I don't want to give extra giveaway stuff, I just don't want this video to get too long. So what I'm going to do here is then we are going to take the Scopin onto the field. And then with the Scopin, we will take that and Link Karibo, and we will go into our Christian Halkafabrax, and then we will take the, we will be able to pick up another Scopin off of Halkafabrax's effect. So that will just get there. Now we have a Scopin in defense mode, which makes it a level 4. Its effect is not negated by Crystron Needle Fiber, because it's not an activated effect, it's just a continuous effect, that it's when it's in defense, it becomes a level 4. So from here now what we can do, we need to try to get into our, we need to get into our smartphone. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take these guys here, and we're going to just go right on into our Appaloosa. This is going to have 3 counters on it. I don't have a third dice for all of this, but we'll just remember that that would have 3 negates on it. And now we would have a little bit of field space that we can send this boombox in to pick up this Selfon back and reuse that effect. So there we go. Now we have a 2. And we will pick up this Vacuumin. Actually, no, we're going to take the Sling, and that makes a little bit more sense. So the last card in our hand right now is a Desynchro. So what we will do, just to try to extend our plays, is we will Desynchro, and we will send back the TG Hyper Librarian, bringing back our Scopen and our Selphon. So from here, what we would want to do is we would maybe want to take these two. No, we can take these and go back into TG Hyper Librarian, and then we can still use this Selphon's effect. So there we have a 3-roll, and now we have our Smartphon, so our plays can keep going. So that's really, really good. So now what we want to do with that Smartphon on the field is we will roll again, and we got a 1, so we'll take that Morphtronic Accelerator. That's not too shabby. What we can then do is we will take these two and make ourselves our Formula Synchron. He will allow us to draw 1 card, and then TG Hyper Librarian will draw us 1 other card. And from here, that's basically where the turn is going to end. So what we can do now is that on our opponent's turn, again, we have 3 monster negates right there. It would have been nice if we could have gone into Naturia Beast. So, unfortunately, we can't. But what we could theoretically do is we would be able to take these two, if we wanted to go into, where would it be? Our Black Rose Dragon. So, Black Rose Dragon, when summoned, would be able to destroy all cards on the field. So, if our opponent did get rid of the Appaloosa and we were backed into a corner, we could just go ahead and take these two and go right into Black Rose Dragon. That's why I like to keep that into the extra deck, because your Formula Synchron is able to, as a quick effect, you can Synchro summon. So during our opponent's main phase, yes, we'd be able to do that. So, all right, going on into combo number 2. Okay, moving on into the second combo. I don't think I really explained this earlier, but basically the general idea for this deck, this is not like a serious competitive deck or anything, it's more for fun, but basically the board that we want to end on is Appaloosa with 3 to 4 monster negates, as well as the Naturia Beast, which would have relatively infinite spell negates, and then Shooting Quasar in order to basically stop anything else, and it can, you know, it's a big 4,000 beater, so that would go in for swing for an OTK on our next turn, and it can negate 1 other card effect per turn, which would generally be just another monster effect or a trap or something like that. But yeah, this deck really is not competitive for competitive means, but really just fun to mess around with. The dice rolls are really fun, and obviously we just saw on that last combo there that for some reason I end up getting a lot of 5s and 6s, which is why I thought that this would be a fun idea. So going on into our second combo, I'm still going to try to squeeze 3 combos into here. So boy, this is okay. So this isn't really our optimal hand, but we do have a few of our extenders. So what we can do from here is we can summon our Scopen and then use Scopen's effect. This is why he's so much better with the Crystron Halqifibrax now, is we can send these 2 cards for Halqifibrax. So he's just like, this is just like an easy 2-card combo to go into him. Then he would be able to get us out another Scopen. So Scopen can come to the field in defense. Then it still does have its effect in defense to where it's treated as a level 4 monster. So what we can do from then is we can junk box and bring back our Staplin and send these 2, which are this is treated as a 4, and then another 4, which would be a total of 8. Which that means we can go into Stardust Dragon, one of the most iconic level 8 monsters in the game. So he's basically the earlier cleaned up version of the Shooting Quasar Dragon. Like, this was the original boss synchro monster. So what we can do from there is, this is basically like the end of our turn for turn number 1, which is not really that great, but sometimes you do get into these scenarios. What we can still do from here is on our opponent's turn, we can banish the Halqifibrax and go ahead and special summon out our Formula Synchron. Formula Synchron, when he's summoned, will draw us 1 more card. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Now we got 2 of those. But then also, as a quick effect, he can Synchro summon into Shooting Star Dragon. We have Shooting Star Dragon in the deck anyways, because when Quasar leaves the field, he can summon this card out anyways. So And we want to have Stardust Dragon in the deck because we have that level 8 option thing there. We already have Formula Synchron in the deck, so it really makes sense to just have this whole setup in the extra deck anyways. So now we're going to end on a board with Shooting Star Dragon, and once per turn he can negate the effect of a card that would destroy a card, basically just like your Stardust Dragon. And then also, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can negate it, or I can't totally remember his effect. Oh, so if your opponent declares an attack, you can banish this card for the end of the turn and then bring it back to negate the attack, which not really that great, but anyways, he's just sort of your simple out if you can't get a full board, and then hopefully on your next turn you would draw into Selfon or something better. Okay, so for this next combo, I'm going to do this very similarly to how I did in my last video with Morphtronic when I was doing the extra linked combo. So I'm going to be doing a run with Morphtronic Selfon and Machine Duplication, plus the other 3 cards that would be in our normal draw. So this is our opening hand, and okay, so 2 machine duplications. Actually, sometimes 2 machine duplications can get really insane. So I think that we're okay with that. So what we'll start off with is we'll start off with Selfon, use one of the machine duplications. In this instance, if you were actually in a competitive scene and you were trying to like avoid a Ash Blossom or something like that, you could trigger your first Selfon's effect. And then if they would try to stop that search, then afterwards you could use machine duplication. But I don't think you would ever really use this in a competitive scene, although it would be hilarious to take this to like a regionals or something. But anyways, we'll start off with our first Selfon's effect. Okay, we got a 3 roll. So we're gonna, what we're gonna do is I would normally want to take the Scope-In, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the Remote-In, actually, because what we can do is we'll send this Selfon for our Link Karibo. Link Karibo is just so versatile in this extra deck. I really, really like having it. And then what we can do with the Remote-In is we'll banish the Selfon in order to pick up another level 1 monster. So we're going to pick up our Smartphon. Then we can go ahead and, trying to grab the cards there. What we can do from here is we'll use this Selfon's effect. And we got another 3 roll, and we will gladly pick up this Vacuumin. So what we can do from here, this is the reason why I said 2 machine duplications would be okay with me. So this is a really interesting scenario that you can get into. What we're going to do first is we'll take these 2 to just clear up the board a little bit. We're going to go into Halqifibrax and then pick up our Scope-In. Then with Scope-In, we can take these 2 that was in defense, so it's treated as a level 4 monster. We will go on into our TG Hyper Librarian. And then what we can do after that is we are going to take the machine duplication, and then we are going to be able to pick up 2 more of our Vacuumins, and then these are just free bodies to use for link plays. So what we can do now, if our opponent had gone first, right now we would be able to suck up 3 of their monsters and equip them onto this, basically like a Thousand Eyes Restrict like effect. So I always really enjoy doing that whenever I can. So since Appaloosa requires monsters with different names, what we are going to do is we will take this one and send it for Link Karibo. Again, Link Karibo is just so versatile with this deck. And then we're going to take these and we will go into our Appaloosa. So right there, now we have an Appaloosa with 3 negates. And we are getting very, very close to what our full combo would be. Now we're going to summon that Smartphon by banishing, it doesn't really matter, but we'll banish the Scope-In. And then Smartphon's effect, we will roll and we'll pick up a 4 on that, adding a Morphtronic card, and we will just always take Smartphon off of Smartphon if we can. Always another great extender. So now what we can do off of this is we are going to we're going to summon our second Smartphon. We'll just banish the Vacuumin. this Smart Fonz effect. Now that's a 6, so that's another count for our total. So we will pick up the top 6 cards of the deck, and we always want to kind of try to take one of the Earth monsters or one of the spells if we can. The Earth monsters are necessary for the Naturia Beast. So now I'm really excited about this desynchro that we have in hand, because this is one of the most powerful plays you can do. Since the Smart Fawn was properly summoned, we can go on into Formula Synchron, and then that will draw us 1 card for Formula, and then 1 card because we have TG Hyper Librarian. And then we can just go ahead and desynchro, and we can take these, he'll go back, and these guys come back onto the field. So we will be able to reuse Smart Fawn's effect, and we can't pick up anything there. You always want to use Smart Fawn's effect first, just because Smart Fawn is what's going to enable you to potentially draw into some of your spell cards and then thin the deck out so you can get more Self-On effects off. So unfortunately we don't have any more space on the field, so we're just going to take these 2 to go into Formula. So Formula, again, now we're going to draw 2 cards off the top of the deck. That's very, very good. And then we are going to activate Self-On's effect. And there we have a 4 roll. So we will take those. We will special summon this Scopin into defense mode. Normally I would have taken the Smart Fawn there, but we did not quite need it. So here we're going to take these, and we will go into our other level 5 synchro. Normally I would wish that we could have a second TG Hyper Librarian, but unfortunately we can't. However, since we do have the 1 TG, we can pick up this card. One interesting play that you can do now with this card is that with this card on the field, when it gets summoned, sorry, I didn't even look at the card that we had just picked up off the deck. It was the Staplin. With the Shiranui Sword Saga, what you can do when this card is special summoned, I believe when it's summoned, yeah, you can target 1 monster on the field and change its battle position. So since we've already used Smart Fawn's attack position effect, we're going to change this to defense, and now we can use its defense mode effect. So while in defense position, once per turn you can roll a 6-sided die, look at the top cards of your deck, and then place them on either the top or the bottom of the deck, and in any order. So we are going to roll, and technically there we rolled a 5, so we're going to count that, so that's 6 participation prizes. So we're going to look at the top 5 cards of our deck, and then we can choose to whether to put those on the top or the bottom. And I am just going to opt to put those to the bottom because I want to draw into more of the desynchros if we could. So what we will do now is we can go ahead and wow, we still have so many plays to do that. So now we're going to Morphtronic Repair Unit, send the Staplin, and then summon Staplin back. And now we can take these 2 in order to go into our Naturia Beast. So now we do have our full combo right here, because these guys together make Quasar, and then this is the rest of the combo. So we're going to draw 1 card off of Hyper Librarian. So right now our hand is looking pretty spiffy. What we can do now, I don't even think we have any options for 1-for-1. Our deck is completely out of monsters for the 1-for-1. So that's unfortunate. We can't really use our Morphtronic Accelerator on anything, not that we would want to. So I think what we would just do from here is we are going to take these 3 monsters, and we are going to go into our Quasar Dragon. And then we still have all of these resources left in our hand for our following turn. And we did get our full combo. So right there is our Appaloosa with 3 negates, as well as Naturia Beast and Shooting Quasar on board. So now we're going to go into the final combo. Okay guys, so wow, I did not think that last combo was going to go that well, but we still have not gotten too many of the participation prizes. I was hoping we would get up to about 10. So we're going to do one more combo here. And this is basically what I'm calling like the optimal or perfect hand for the deck. So we're going to get going right on into it. So first off, we're going to start off again with the Self-On and Machine Duplication combo. It is just like it's the bread and butter of the deck. If you can get that on your first turn, you're already on your way to you know, getting off your best plays that you can. Otherwise, like the other way that I would say that this hand could be a little bit better if you took out the desynchro and you added another machine duplication, because I think that that vacuum in play is pretty sweet and works pretty well for the deck. So going on here, we're going to use Selfon's effect. And there we go, we have another 6. So I'm going to just move a second dice in here. That one's a little harder to see, so I'm going to make that a 6. This is a 1, so we are at 7. So we're going to pick up the top 6 of our deck and see what we can get. We're just going to go ahead and take the scope in, and we're going to keep it in attack mode, and if we can add a level 4 monster into the hand, then we will be able to special summon it before we send this away for our Halqifibrax. So we'll use this Selfon's effect, and that's another 6, so okay, more prizes. So, rolling on there, that is, well, sorry, a little slippery there. Okay, so we're going to special summon off the Boomboxin. And from here, I think we would end up wanting to just take these two, sending them for our Halqifibrax. We will get our second Scopin out from the deck, wherever that's at. Okay, and now, because we are already about to be able to go into a Naturia Beast with Boomboxin on the field. So what I would want to do is get out TG Hyper Librarian first, and then we will go ahead and special summon that out. I always try to banish one of the Selfons, just because if you do end up drawing that different dimension reincarnation, it's nice to special summon back the Selfon off of that. So we'll go ahead and use Smartfon's effect, picking up a 4 there. And we always want to take the spells if we can, so we're just going to take that repair unit. With that, we still have not used this Selfon's effect, so we will use him quick. And there's another 4. Again, I just get like the dopest rolls with this deck. I don't know why. So now here we have sort of a tough question. Do we want to take another 4 to the field? Or do we want to just go ahead and get out Remoten, because Remoten will be able to allow us to banish one of our other cards and whatnot. I don't really see Remoten helping us out that much. I would actually rather just take the Boomboxin, I think. So from here, we are just going to take these two, and we can go into our Naturia. Actually, no. I made the same mistake in the last video, and I'm not going to do it here. So we're going to take these two, and we'll take them and go into our, wherever he's at. We're going to go into Formula Synchron. We will draw 2 cards off of this. Very, very nice. I like getting that different dimension reincarnation. So we will take that and desynchro it, sending it back in order to get these guys back to the field. From here, I guess we would want to try to find a way to clear up the board so we can get Selfon's effect off as optimally as possible. So what we're going to do is we'll use Smartfon's effect first, getting a 1 there, and we don't actually get to pick anything up off of that. But we will take these, we're going to take these cards. No, actually we're going to take these, send them for Naturia Beast. Almost made a big mistake there. Always want to hit Naturia Beast as early as possible. We get to draw 1 card off of Hyper Librarian once again. And then from here we can activate our Junk Box, bringing Smartfon back to the field, and then we'll use that search effect one more time with a 3 on this one, and we'll just pick up another Smartfon. So from here, we're going to take these 3, and we're going to go on into our Appaloosa, just so that we finally have that onto our board. And again, we're getting really close to the full combo. All we're missing is just a few monsters, and we have all of these resources left in our hand. We still haven't used our Selfon's effect, so first we're going to summon Smartfon by banishing another monster. So we will... why don't we just banish the Scopin in case we would end up needing that from different dimension reincarnation. we'll use this Smart Fonz effect. And we're going to pick up a Vacuumin. It's always okay if you end up picking up a monster because you need to send a monster for your Morphtronic repair unit. So the more monsters and repair units you can get in your hand from Smart Fonz is always great. So we will now use this Cell Fonz effect, and we are going to be able to pick up, we'll just pick up the staple in there. No, we're gonna, you always go Smart Fonz if you can, because Smart Fonz is just great. Always gets you more advantage in your hand. So now we'll use this Smart Fonz here. That's another 6 for you guys. So now we are up to 9 prizes, 9 participation prizes, I should say. And with that, we are going to pick up one more repair unit. So I think that this is going to end up extending really, really far, guys. The deck is already getting pretty thin. I wouldn't doubt it if we only have about 10 cards left by the end of this. So we're going to send these two into our Formula Synchron once again. And now we get to pick up 2 more cards from the top of the deck. And okay, so this is our hand right now, guys. We are not even close to being done. So what we're going to do from here, we already used that Smart Fonz effect, so we're just going to really quickly activate a repair unit, sending a boombox in and then bringing him back, and then we'll just take those and go on into our Shiranui Sword Saga. Then that's going to allow us to draw one more off of Hyper Librarian. It's always nice off of something like this if you can draw into an actual Monster Reborn. There is a Monster Reborn in the deck, and if we had gotten it there, then we could send all of these guys, get out TG Hyper Librarian back, and then keep drawing more stuff. But what we can do from here is we're going to take these, and we have our full combo once again. However, we still have a lot of extenders, so what we're going to do from here is we will use another Morphtronic repair unit, sending our Sling into the graveyard. Then we're going to pick up one of our properly summoned Smart Fonz, activate Smart Fonz effect, and how about a 3? And we'll take that for another Accelerator. It's really sad that Accelerator ended up getting an errata, so it's no longer return a Morphtronic card from your hand. It has to be a Morphtronic monster. So, and then that ends up helping you to destroy a card on the field. So from here, we will use the different dimension reincarnation, discarding that, and then picking up our Cell Fonz. We'll use Cell Fonz effect for a 3. Okay, and now our monster count is getting very, very low, but we ended up still pulling one there. From here, what we can do, okay, we have to really assess our options. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take these two, and we're going to go on into our second Formula Synchron, allowing us to just pick up one more card. Hopefully it's a Monster Reborn. Boom, that was what I was hoping for. We're going to get rid of this clutter right here. So what we would be able to do now is we can Monster Reborn, and with that Monster Reborn, we would try to decide what we would want. TG Hyper Librarian would have been a decent card to bring back before the Formula Synchron. I'm not sure if that would actually be the best option. Probably what we would want to do is either get another Smart Fonz onto the field and then just try to search again, but I don't really even know what we would have for good searches anymore. So I think what would just be best is to use Monster Reborn on a Scopin, and then you can take these two to go into a Stardust Dragon. And then actually this is pretty sweet because then on our opponent's turn, again, we can take these two and we would be able to send them for a Shooting Star Dragon. So, or if you want to, you can keep this on the board, and then if your opponent gets rid of your Shooting Quasar Dragon, your Shooting Star Dragon comes onto the board anyways. So anyway, guys, that is going to probably do it for the combo video. We still have this in our hand, so if our opponent ends up getting a full board, we could actually blow up 2 cards by sending these 2 back, and then we would end up drawing 2 cards off of those destructions. So I think that this was very fun, guys. We have 9 additional participation prizes to add to the giveaway. So Thank you very much for watching, and let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking. I've already gotten a lot of submissions for the giveaway, so it's been a lot of fun. I've already gotten, I have one person already with 6 name entries, so don't forget that you guys can get more than 1 entry per person. If you're a subscriber, if you follow me on Instagram, those are already 2 of the simplest ways you can do it, along with sharing videos and whatnot. All of the other details are in my other videos, so go ahead and check those out. Common Collector out. Thanks for watching, dudes.